monkey's here.
Let's get into it. Today we're replacing the fuel sender. The current one sort of works. When the tank's full, it's just off the end of the scale. But when the tank's empty, it still shows 80% full on the gauge. For the last 18 months or so, we've just been monitoring the mileage and making sure we hit a fuel station just before we get to 50 miles every time to make sure we don't get caught out. When I saw this brand new old stock 6R4 fuel sender and gauge advertised by Dr. Ian Rowlands at 6r4.com, I snapped it straight up. They don't make these anymore, so it's a rare thing to find. So it was a no-brainer just to get it ordered straight away. The plan today is to change the sender, and if we get really lucky, we won't have to touch the wiring or change the gauge, and it'll be a nice, simple job. Ah yeah, I spoke too soon when I said simple. On a 6R4, the fuel sender is behind the driver's seat, and the only way to get to it is to kneel in the seat, facing backwards, and hope your arms are long enough to reach round, take out the bolts, undo the wires, swap it over, put it all back together. If it was in a sensible place, it'd be a 10-minute job. When I said it'd be a 10-minute job, that would be for somebody who's got a clue what they're doing with the spanners and not a ham-fisted idiot like myself. But anyway, so we took the harnesses out of the top of the seat, moved them out of the way behind the camera, and then it was a matter of taking the 4 screws off this cover and moving the ECU out of the way, and we can find the sender. Once you've got those 4 screws undone, we just lift off the ECU because it's mounted on Velcro, and then it's a matter of fiddling around and lifting that cover out of the way so we can get to the top of the sender and undo the bolts on it. The top of the sender is held in with 6 bolts, one of which has the negative earth on it. In the centre of the top there's a small nut which is where the live wire is connected, and that's how you get your reading. As I said, all simple stuff, but remember, I'm kneeling in the seat that's on the left of the screen, facing backwards, trying to reach round the back of the seat, removing the 6 bolts at full arm's length and trying not to drop them into the footwells. At last, I've got 6 bolts out. Time to remove the sender. Just pull it straight up and it slides out of the tank. And make sure you've got a towel handy, because some fuel will drip off the bottom. Simple as that. Grab the new one, make sure the rubber seal's in place on the top, and slide it straight back in. Off we go again, putting those bolts back in. If I'd got any common sense, I'd have stuck a couple of bolts in, connected the wire up, and then checked the reading. However, I put all the bolts in first, but did remember to check it before I got the cover back on and had to take it all back to bits again if it wasn't going to work. And the good news is, it works. We've got about 3/4 of the tank, it's about 3/4 of the way up the gauge. That will do nicely for me. Time to fiddle about and get that cover back in place. Drop those screws a few times and then pick them back up and screw them in. I might edit those bits out and then we're all done. All that's left now is to put the harnesses back through the seat and then, well, drive it around until the tank's empty to see what the gauge says. That'll have to wait until another day though, because by the time I got this finished it was 10:30 at night. I really don't want to upset the neighbours again. Make sure you give us a like, hit the bell and press subscribe, and then you'll see all the other videos we've got on the channel, and there is plenty more to come. If you've got a question about the car, if there's anything you want to know, just put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one.